can take you to... Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. Nice weather for a ride. Hope it lasts.
These graves hold the sons and daughters. Show respect while you're here, and you and I will be fine.
Excuse me, sir. I don't normally do this, but, have you got a moment to talk? Marvelous. My name is Lucien Flavius. I'm a scientist, philosopher, amateur wizard, and something of a musician, though I suppose that's more of a hobby. I couldn't help noticing that you seem... how can I put this? Well acquainted with the less savory side of Skyrim? As a matter of fact, I do. I'm here in Skyrim on an expedition, academic mainly. I find the province simply fascinating. The flora, the fauna, the ruins, both Dwemer and Nordic, the architecture, the politics. Trouble is, I'm really not much of a fighter. I know a few spells and can just about swing a sword, but beyond that, I'm pretty useless in combat. Skyrim's no place for a milk drinker like me. Not on my own, anyway. So, I'm looking for someone to travel with. I suppose what I'm asking is, would you awfully mind if I tag along? I will of course compensate you most handsomely for putting up with me. Oh, shall we say 300 septims up front? After that, I'll top you up every time we come across something useful to my research. At your discretion, of course. No obligations, save that you take me with you, and assist in keeping me alive wherever possible. Oh, splendid. Here's your gold. This is going to be quite the adventure. It's a pleasure to meet you. Lead on.
Shor's bones, handsome man in Falkreath.
Good morning. Ask away. Cyrodiil, though I suppose you could probably guess that. I grew up in the Imperial City, mostly with my nose in a book. My family own a small amount of property there, and they always encourage me to pursue my interests. Namely, knowledge, in all its forms. I spent some time at the Arcane University, a couple of years at the archives of White Gold Tower, and I've studied at every academy in the city. But no amount of academic knowledge can compare to some practical experience. I'm done reading about the world. Now I want to see it. So many things. The culture, the architecture, but most of all, the enormous Dwemer presence here. The technology the dwarves possessed all those years ago is miles beyond us, even today. The chance to study it in person, I just couldn't resist. Now that you mention it, I suppose there is. Somewhere here in Skyrim, there's a Dwemer ruin called Doomsbethar. I came across a text referring to it in my last few months at the Arcane University. Dwemerus is a fiddly language, often the same words can have multiple meanings, but I'm fairly sure it translates loosely to bound ghosts. It piqued my curiosity. The use of soul gems in Dwemer automatons is well documented, but no one really knows much about their purpose or function. I thought perhaps this place of bound ghosts might be something to do with that, so I did some more research, but I just can't find the location. My father's looking into it for me while I'm here on my expedition. If he finds anything, he's going to let me know. Alright then. Bye for now.
Someone will wander in here. The entrance isn't exactly hidden, you know.
This again? Told you. We have someone standing guard out there. And don't forget the rock trap.
Someone there.
So long as you come back for me. Yes, right you are. I suppose it's too much to ask that these bandits will just hand the golden claw over if we ask them nicely.
You picked a bad time to get lost, friend.
This is...
Die, hero!
Let's get moving. Sorry, just thinking out loud. I like to think of philosophy as a way of conclusively resolving the big questions in life. Or is it? Discuss. Kinda catchy. How can I help you? Certainly. But of course. Right you are. Sure. Oh, the Flaviuses are firmly rooted in the Imperial City. We've always had a strong sense of home. We're a tight-knit bunch, and we get on rather well most of the time. They worry, though. Particularly about me. Gave them quite a shock when I told them about this expedition. Davidicus is his name. He's an academic like me, always up to his elbows in old scrolls. He does a lot of consultancy work for the Imperial government, hunts down relics for them, that sort of thing. I'd be lying if I said we always saw eye to eye, but I owe a lot to him, and he's very dear to me. Captain Lyra of the Imperial Legion. She and I couldn't be more different, but she's always supported me in everything I've done. She fought against the Thalmor in the Great War. In fact, she was there for Lord Narafin's defeat at the Battle of the Red Ring. She retired to marry my father and raise me, but despite her career, she never tried to force me onto the same path. By the time I was old enough to hold a book, it was clear I was going to follow my father into the academic world, and she was delighted for me. I write to her fairly regularly, my father too, and while she worries, I think she's proud of me for doing this. I hope so, anyway. None. I was the proverbial apple of my parents' proverbial eyes. And yes, they spoiled me rotten. Sometimes I wonder what it would have been like to have had a brother or a sister. But then I wouldn't be quite who I am today, so I can't complain. Alright then. Let's get back to it. This city's put up with a raging dragon, 2 Daedric invasions, the Alliance War, an army of frost trolls, and a witch queen. And it's still here!